What's up, people? Sam Lowe here for Green Blood Boxing. Thanks very much for tuning into the channel and obviously into this video. I really do appreciate it. Make sure, before we go any further, to like, share, comment and subscribe. Especially subscribe and like the video. I really do appreciate it and it does help me out. So, yeah, before we do anything else, please do that. It really does help me. Today, want to get into the Canelo Yildirim fight. There is a particular narrative going around that Yildirim didn't try or that he didn't put enough effort in. People are very upset with him for not throwing punches, for not really seemingly not coming to fight. As he in the fight he didn't throw so many punches and perhaps to, I don't want to sound too patronising or condescending, but I suppose to people who don't understand what it's like to be in there, you know what I mean, or to be in a sport that has similar characteristics to boxing. That is to say that it's a dynamic, flowy sport where it's individual sport. It's a one-on-one, but you're not taking turns. It's dynamic in that sense that your opponent can punch at the exact same time as you. You know what I mean? So you're competing for getting the shot off first, etc., etc. It's very much reactive as much as it is proactive. You know what I mean? In that sense, so dynamic. Like a tennis would be an example of another sport, or table tennis, that you have the similar characteristics. It's not just your turn and then you sit back down and wait for your opponent to go, like maybe in snooker or golf or something like this. A lot of things can change in a boxing ring. The rhythm can change, the pace can change. Your opponent can go up and down in terms of rhythm, pace. Yes, even in terms of level, a lot can change to put you off. To put you off your own rhythm. So I believe that's what happened. So kind of slightly digressed there, but just want to make it clear to people that this is why, you know what I mean. And there are obviously other sports that have similar characteristics, but as I said, but the narrative has risen that Yildirim didn't try in the fight, because he didn't punch so often. As I say, I believe this to be complete nonsense. I mean, I do see that as a lack of understanding of what's going on there. What happened there was Canelo is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of levels above Yildirim. It's really that simple. And to someone who maybe doesn't understand, again, it sounds very patronising, but to people who don't understand like high level performance sport, it might not seem like they were that far apart, you know what I mean? But they really, really are in terms of the small nuances and technical aspects, control of distance, of feet, speed, reactions, defense, everything. Yildirim is so far behind Canelo in all aspects of the game. He's just a little bit bigger man. That's about it. But I believe what happened in the fight was Yildirim really felt Canelo's presence. Canelo obviously was straight away throwing singles, a lot of hooks to the body, left hook to the body and right hook to the body, a lot of hooks over the top to the head, a lot of single shots. But I believe what he was doing was he was offsetting, not that he was necessarily doing this on purpose, but he was offsetting Yildirim. So he never gave Yildirim a chance to get any rhythm. Take into account the fact that Yildirim also hasn't been in a competitive ring in 2 years. It definitely does not help. It really does not help. But I don't think it would have mattered too much anyway. But I think, as I say, what happened was they got in the ring. Canelo was beating Yildirim to the punch in a sense. Not that they were punching at the same time and his shot was landing first, but if it's like brain speed, like Canelo would throw his shot before Yildirim, and Yildirim was thinking about throwing a shot and Canelo was already thrown. And then so he puts Yildirim off off his rhythm. He doesn't allow Yildirim to even get any rhythm, to start getting shots off and start feeling out the fight as such, you know. And what happens there is you saw what happened. Yildirim, he wasn't set to throw punches. He didn't feel safe to throw shots because he felt like he felt Canelo was too quick, was throwing his shots, was varying up his work. And he obviously felt the power and felt the speed of Canelo. And as I say, he felt unsafe. I think a lot of boxers will understand this. He felt unsafe in there, and that's why he didn't expose himself by going gung-ho and throwing loads of punches. If he had gone in there and started bulldozing forward and throwing loads of shots, or even just being a bit busier than what he was, he wouldn't have lasted even into the... he wouldn't have lasted... to get to the corner after the third round. He wouldn't have lasted that long, because I think he understood when he got in there and Canelo was punching at him and he was trying to find his spots but couldn't find his spots to throw. He felt that he was in danger if he let his hands go more. That he felt the presence and the level of Canelo, and he thought, okay, if I throw a lot of shots here, I'm going to give a lot of openings to this guy who's quicker than me, he's reactive, he's sharp, and he's very powerful. I believe that this is exactly what happened. It's not that he didn't try. It's not, I mean, like, he was confident all week. He was there to win. Do you know what I mean? Like, of course he's there to win. And also, Joel Diaz in the corner was asking him to throw more punches. He was pleading with him to, come on, the game plan, throw punches. You need to be more active. You need to be busier. I don't know if they weren't his exact words, but, you know, that's what his sentiment was. He was trying to get him to punch. But he couldn't, because he didn't feel like he was safe when he was punching. He felt like he was opening himself up. Of course, I'm speaking here like I know this for an absolute fact, but I think that in terms of the kind of sport that it is and the levels between the two fighters, I feel this is almost inarguably what happened. I was quite unhappy, as I say, with the narrative that Garrett came out with and Dan Rafael, that, you know, he didn't try and they were unhappy with his effort and stuff. It has nothing to do with that. It wasn't that he didn't put an effort in or that he didn't try. He didn't want to get cleaned out. He didn't want to get knocked out. He felt, and it's not even that. It's not even conscious. This is the thing. It's not conscious that he decided that he didn't want to get. It's reactive in the moment. He felt that he was in danger. He felt if he punched, he would get hit. So he didn't punch, and he really tried to find his spots. And you'll also see that that's why he didn't throw in combination. He only really threw a few 1-2s. There weren't, I can't remember now exactly, but he might have thrown a couple of 3-punch combinations, but I don't really remember that off the top of my head. He threw a few jabs and a few 1-2s, and obviously he didn't throw very much in the 3 rounds. But this is why, because he was instinctively, he felt unsafe. He felt like he was going to get hit, and he was right. He was getting hit anyway, and he wasn't even really giving Canelo too many opportunities to counter him. As it were, throughout the rounds. But this is what I feel. I feel this is correct. I feel this is a correct assessment. I feel a lot of boxers and people who understand that kind of sport, that dynamic, flowy kind of one-on-one sport, understands that feeling that when you're in there against someone who's so superior to you, that they're in complete control and they're just too sharp, a little bit too quick, and they're able to control you and what you do, and they're beating you to the shot, beating you to the punch, and they're just, they're quicker, they're what's the word, in terms of their processing, their brain processing, they're quicker than you cerebrally, if you like, a lot quicker, intellectually faster. In terms of the sport, so that's the wrong word, but anyway, you get the point. Obviously, Canelo won. Yildirim was retired by his corner after the 3rd round. I think he was happy enough to be pulled out. Again, backs up the point that he just felt like he couldn't do anything, which he couldn't. And he felt like if he had he could have let more punches go. He could have told himself to throw more punches. But what would have happened there? He'd have got hit. I think everyone knows that. Everyone can look at that and go, well, yeah, like Canelo is perhaps the best counterpuncher in the sport. He has debatably the best upper body movement, evasive upper body movement in the sport as well. Definitely up there with the best ones. As I say, perhaps the best. I think Yildirim would have found himself in an absolute world of trouble if he had have consciously forced himself to throw more shots. He understood that himself in the ring, in that moment, in the moment of being in the ring. He understood that, and his brain wouldn't let him throw the punches because he was trying to protect himself. And he was obviously trying to box. He was trying to find his spots, but as I say, he couldn't. That's very much what happened in my opinion. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Remember to like, share and subscribe, comment as well. If you haven't already done it, please do subscribe to the channel and like the video. If you want to hear me talk about anything else, please comment and let me know. Also, follow me on social media and follow the channel on social media. On Instagram, it's Boxing Green Blood, all lowercase, and on Twitter, it's Green Blood Box E1 BOXI1. Okay. Please follow us and let me know in the comments if you want me to talk about anything at all. Thanks for tuning into the video once again, guys. Sam Logue here for Green Blood Boxing. Peace.